Good morning, traders. And good morning to everyone on YouTube. Looks like a slow start for Monday, which is typical. Everybody hear me okay? I did have a rough start trying to get this thing going this morning. Great. Could not get Discord going. Discord kept crashing. So we did get the computer to the shop. They did not do much to it other than just look to see what maybe the issue was. There was no RAM available for this PC. So it's on special order. Don't know when I'm going to get it. So we're kind of limping on one leg here. I don't know if that has anything to do with the issue. I'm almost thinking it's Discord for some reason because I've been having trouble with Discord for a couple of weeks. So I should have the RAM any day. They told me 2 days, and that was Friday, maybe by Tuesday. Hopefully I'll have it. Anyhow, we're here. Not seeing much moving this morning. And if you're new here, we'll be watching this volume spike for any percentage increases. This column right here measures anything that moves. If it starts moving, it'll get a number and it'll spike up and crawl up to the top of the list. This is the momentum indicator. It's looking back 30 minutes to let us know anything that's been moving over the last 30 minutes. If it's moving a little bit, it'll get a low score. If it's moving a lot, it'll get a higher score. So we'll see what happens. Still waiting on one to start spiking. Hopefully it doesn't spike till 6 a.m. Central Time when our market opens. And I'm using the V4 this morning. I think it works better in pre-market, so I'm going to stick with it. Y'all can continue using the swing combo on your trading if you want to. And I'm sorted by momentum this morning. It has 16 in it right now, but it's been working fine with 16 streaming to both services. But man, I'm thinking, I've even checked my RAM. I don't ever use over 50% of it. But I'm going to upgrade the RAM anyway, just in case the Windows numbers are lying to me. They did find some hardware issues. This is a pretty good PC shop. They do all the warranties for all the major manufacturers, so they pretty much know what's going on. They didn't see any RAM issues. We have about 2 minutes to go. Make sure your chart's on EXT so you don't miss a trade. And if you're new here, we'll be clicking on one. We'll be confirming that these two moving averages have crossed over. This is the 5, this is the 13. Once they cross over and the price starts rising, you'll see these arrows pop in. These are spike arrows. They'll climb up the ladder. Just like that, it'll cross over. You'll see the white arrows coming in. That tells you the buyers are coming in and the stock price rises. I'll be marking support and resistance levels out on each stock. We always take an entry near the support level. About 1 minute to go. Let's see what happens. Good luck to you. All right. Getting close. If you're new here, I'll do a walkthrough about 6:30. Let's let market open calm down. And we're off. We'll be watching this column for spikes, possibly here. Pretty quiet start. Hate to see that. I saw SPEC moving earlier this morning. Doesn't have a whole bunch of strength to it. VINC. I believe we had one last week with that name. I believe I recall that symbol. Let's see if we get a pullback on it. It doesn't look very strong this morning. It's only 20,000 shares traded. It may not get anywhere. This would be the resistance level here. Once this red candle closes, I will mark the support level. This is where we're going to plan our entry, but I don't like it. I'm not seeing the volume we need. And it looks like it's going to sell off. Dusty says we're a minute behind. Could somebody else verify the seconds and tell me if you also are experiencing a 1 minute delay? OKYO did a pullback but never saw it. It just popped up in this at this time. So most of you have 1 second delay or very little delay, and a couple of you have a minute delay. I don't know about these things anymore. Which one's accurate? Let's see if we break through that resistance level. This would have been the pullback, but everything seems to be weak this morning. Don't know if I would click the button on this one. Looks like they may be getting some buyers in. The volume has started ticking good on it. Kind of bouncing around on resistance. Not making much progress on this one either. Good job, Jim Smith. Jim, did you go short on it? Is that where you made your money? SPEC not looking good this morning. We already looked at it once. It's back on the chart. Good morning to everybody just popping in. No volume on this one. BINC still trying to get above resistance. This one's only paying pennies, no great money here. 183 to 185 to 188. So about 3 cents a number. Or maybe 5 or 6 cents a candle, depending on the size of the candle. Is taking off. That's about 7 or 8 cents there in that candle. This one had a rough start. Don't know if I would trust it or not. I say that means all of you are going to make money on it because I didn't buy it. Struggling to get any higher over here on VINC. I'll take a look at CGen since this one's going nowhere. Absolutely no volume on this stock. This one's showing some strength here. It's held back on the pullback. Now it's rising up again. It's up about 20 cents from this point here. Profit takers taking their profits up at the top. Thank you, OT. I'm kind of halfway back. I couldn't get Discord going. May need to uninstall Discord and reinstall it in case something got corrupt on it. This one's pulling back strong. Let's see if we can get a pullback strategy going. I just marked the resistance level. Let's see if we can mark a support level down here. And we did. Let's see if we can bounce back and break through 207. Or do we stay channeling between the two the two support and resistance levels? We did break through. Always remember your entry is going to be down here where I marked support. It's not always a good entry, but the odds of this happening every time is pretty high. It did bounce up, but it did not go very far. Looking like the buyers are giving up on VINC. Back to the quiet zone. That's where we are. Nothing happening currently. We could get a bounce here between 193 and 207. It's attempting a recovery. I'm not seeing a spike over here, so it's not likely. We do have nice volume in this stock. They could get it back up there to 207. We're checking this current bar volume right here. If you're wondering where I'm looking, this is the volume of this current candle. Good job, Hennessy. Right back down to support. Not very much strength in this one. So if Bitcoin's going up, that must mean Mara is going up as well. Mara is trailing up. Since we're in the quiet zone, I am Ricky Gaspard. I'm a guy who trades from his home office. I've been trading since 1990. I'm also a ThinkScript coder, and I've been coding for about 15 years. And all of the indicators you see here on my screen were coded by me. My biggest breakthrough was this volume spike indicator. I was able to break the volume down as far as positive and negative volume. Positive being the volume is increasing while the price is rising, and negative being the volume is increasing while the price is falling. This allowed me to kind of simulate buyers and sellers. It's not true buyers and sellers. I'm just doing it by the volume numbers and as the price rises and falls. It's been a good indicator for using it for a scanner instead of paying for a scanning service. This one actually tells us more than one stock at a time, which is a good thing. Out of this indicator, this one was born, the momentum indicator. It's looking back 30 minutes for spikes. If it's spiking just a little, it's going to get a low number. The more it's spiking, the higher number it's going to get. Once we see a spike, we click on it and we come over here and we confirm that these two moving averages have crossed over. This is the 5, this is the 13. We also look for these spike indicators to come in on the bottom side and separation of these two moving averages. Once we get that, the price is increasing. We look down here at the volume and make sure we have enough volume to get in and out of the stock safely. I don't use volume bars here. I use the label for my volume. I like to know the current bar's volume, the last bar's volume. This label over here tells us if there's more buyers or more sellers in the overall volume of the stock. Up here, you'll see a bullish and bearish signal kick in. Once these arrows start kicking in, you'll see bullish pop in up here at the top, or bearish, depending on the direction of the stock. Down here, I'm using Dominator Master. This is also volume. I'm a volume price action guy. I like monitoring where the buyers and sellers are. So this current bar down here is also this current candle. And we watch for spikes down here in the current volume bar. These are just history of what's happened in the past. This is not a duplication of the volume indicator that you see all over YouTube and all over ThinkorSwim. This one's taking it one bar at a time, and it's also measuring buyers and sellers within that bar. So here the buyers are outnumbering 56 to 43. And you can see if there's a volume increase in that candle, the taller these green bars get. Never trade off my screen. Sometimes my screen is delayed up to whoever knows how big that could get. But make sure that you're set up on your own computer and do not trade off of my screen. If you don't belong to our YouTube channel, I'll post a link down here in the chat. Join my YouTube channel, watch the videos as all these indicators were born. And we'll watch spec here as I'm talking. So watch the YouTube channels, like the YouTube channels, comment on my YouTube channels, hit the bell icon so you're notified when I put out new videos and indicators. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. It lets me also know that I'm doing a good job if you comment on the videos and like them. If you don't belong to our Discord, I'll put the link down here in the chat. Discord is where you'll find all of these indicators and labels and scripts. If you're unfamiliar with Discord, head over to Start Here. That's where you're going to get your information to start learning Discord. Just start at the top. On the left side, those are all channels. Start at the top, work your way down to the bottom, discover where everything is. You may not have many questions if you just go through the Discord channels. You'll find these indicators over in current setup. This is the V4 indicator. These are the volume labels down here. This is the dominator. You'll get all of these scripts up here at the top with V4. When you install it, you get these labels up here. This is the bid, the ask, and the spread, and the bullish and the bearish. Visit our trading floor where Gregster and River Place Dad are posting their stock picks after doing their due diligence. Sometimes they post some really good ones, and sometimes I sit in there and play right along with them. Also visit our options channel where we have Bobby. He's the guy that knows a lot about options over there. He occasionally holds a live stream like I do once or twice a week. And they are announced on Discord. If you have issues installing these scripts and you tried already and you just can't get it, head over to support and somebody will help you there on support. Appreciate you joining us this morning as we wait on the next stock to take off. Spec is moving, and it never fails. Every time I get into rattling my jaw, something takes off. I did not stop using it. I just prefer V4 for pre-market. It's the indicator. That's my go-to indicator anyway. You can continue using the swing indicator if you prefer it. Me, this has been the best indicator ever, this V4. I kind of lean towards using it more than I do anything else, but I do have the swing indicator on another monitor running. And see, I did not. I think the time you told me I was crashing and then the PC went over to the shop. And I really don't want to change anything that they have done by adding some kind of correction software to it. They're still actually working on it. They're going to put the RAM in it as soon as it comes in and run their test again. And I don't want it to reveal that and they're trying to make changes right on top of them. Bouncing up here, spec is pretty strong. The volume is nice on it. It's kind of steadily going. Too late for me to get in. It was already up rocketing these two candles by the time I got through talking. I'm not going to play it up here at the top. It's really sad when a big company like Microsoft puts out an operating system that we have to figure out how to fix it. Kind of in the quiet mode right now, waiting on the next volume spike to occur. If you're paying for a streaming service, you probably don't need to anymore. This thing replaced it with more accuracy than the paid services. We get multiple stocks pop up here sometimes. On the paid services, you get one, and it's usually too late. We get to watch them when they first take off, play the pullbacks on them, and wait for the next burst of energy to come in. Make a lot of money doing that strategy. We stuck with it since the beginning, and it's paid off very well. Making another attempt here to go back up. Needs to break this level right here. Needs to break this level, go up, pull back, and retest it before I'm interested in getting in. That's probably not going to happen. It's already did 3 pullbacks. I am set to 1 minute. You can see that right here on the chart. And I'm not looking for a volume number. I'm looking for volume flow. We want to see lots of numbers passing by in the volume. It's not a certain number. Hennessy, do you have the extended hours checked? The way you do that is you right click on the name up here, go to edit formula, and right here is extended hours and it's 1 minute. Make sure that you're set up just like this. Then apply it and save it. I got you. There's a picture on TOS scans of my pre-market settings. If you haven't compared to that, you may have to scroll to go find it, but it's on there. I haven't changed it for months, so it's still active and current. They're not going to be any different than what's on TOS scans. Whenever I update mine over here, I update the ones on Discord. And today I can't even get Discord to fire up. So it may be a while before I can post on Discord. SNGX taking off. Let me get rid of that line. Let's see if we can get a pullback on this one. It's a cheaper stock, $1.14. Once the price pulls back, I will set a resistance level up here at the top. We'll wait for the pullback and I'll set support for the bounce back up. Nice volume. This is the volume I'm talking about, whoever had that question earlier. You can see the numbers are steadily ticking away. Still climbing, SNGX. Looking like it's running out of steam. No more energy. It's definitely holding its price. That's a good sign. I'm seeing wicks on the top. That's a bad sign. You don't know what the wicks are. The wicks on the top are the sellers trying to drive the price back down, or they're profit takers taking profit. We may be getting the pullback here. I'll go ahead and mark it out. See if we get a bounce off of the profit takers here. As soon as this candle closes, I will mark support. Long tail on the bottom means the buyers are buying up what they're selling. It could just rise up from this point. So this would also be an entry, this long tail down here on the bottom. Let's see if more buyers come in and drive it up. It looks like the volume all of a sudden dropped off. Pulling back down again. This one's a little bit tricky to get into. And because of that, I won't take an entry. Not a lot of buyers in these last two candles. Let's see if this candle closes, this red candle closes for the support level, for the bounce back up to $1.14. Or do they continue to sell it off? That's a big drop right there. I'll mark it. Let's see if we go back up or if we go down. Doesn't look like it has very much support for the bounce back up. We are sellers down here. We are bearish up here. Let's see if we get some action. I'm seeing a green candle down there at the bottom. It's a cheaper stock at $1.03 for a possible bounce to $1.14. But I'm seeing the volume dying on this stock. It may not go anywhere. It's definitely trying. Looks like they're trying to flush out all the buyers. Long tails on the bottom, not real long, but it has tails. They are keeping the price level up here at $1.03. Volume has died pretty much on this stock. Looks like SNGX needs some buyers to come on board. Holding price level at $1.03. Yeah, spec is doing the same thing. It's just bouncing up and down in that area as well. We should get a volume spike on both of them if they decide to take off again. Spec is playing around within that zone there. This would be resistance and support down here. George, some of you have a delay, some of you don't. Some of you show 2 seconds, some of you show 1 minute. It must be the servers. Not my servers, but somebody else's servers. Maybe the YouTube servers. Everybody's screaming VINC. I'll take a look at it. Has a resistance level at $1.93. Not too good of a Monday morning, but we did get a couple of movers. Well, enjoy your coffee as we wait on the next spike to come in. That probably won't be till 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So if you haven't hit the like button for me on this stream, please do so. Pay it forward. This stuff is free. Pay it forward and help me out. Let's keep the ratings going on YouTube and click the like button on this stream for me. Thank you. It's only like 128 likes and 375 participants. Stonks, this one up here, I'm only using the after hours selection in ThinkorSwim. This is all ThinkorSwim indicators. Down here, I custom coded this one to also include after hours trading on the previous day. And it's factored into this morning's moves as well. So this one's looking back a little bit further than this one is. This one's taking in after hours from the previous day. Good morning, Jimmy. Magic Scan is looking for momentum stocks. It's going to list them here. You can see it's got SPEC and VINC, the two stocks that moved for us this morning. So it's monitoring the momentum stocks that are taking off. These do it as well, but this one will keep them posted here as long as they're moving. Over on these two scans, they will pop up here and then disappear or come down to the bottom of the list, where this one reminds us of what's been moving. This is a very good scan to watch all day long. It'll definitely work some magic for you. You are very welcome. When using this system, you're going to find a bunch of dead spots where you have absolutely nothing to do, and I have absolutely nothing to talk about because nothing is moving. You can see we have a very small spike here. I already know that this stock is moving again. You won't get that with a paid scanner. It's going to tell you once it's rocketing and you get a big green candle, it may pop up on the paid subscription services. But over here, we know if it's just moving even a little bit. Dana, you got to quit doing that, bro. I know it looks like you're leaving money on the table, but you're also leaving money in your pocket if you wait on the pullback. Bro, Joe, how is my what going? My health is doing fine. I have another checkup in about a month, but I feel great. Thank you for asking. I have my moments, don't get me wrong, but the moments aren't that bad. Got to let the play set up. If you just jump in and try chasing them, you're going to have a higher probability of losing a few dollars. I like strong volume, good price action, nice runs up, nice pullbacks, and nice returns back up to the top. You wait on those, be patient. You can put some money in your pocket. Thank you, Melanie and Don. Best part about this setup is you don't have to go searching for stocks. They all come to us. If they're going to move, they're going to pop up right here. So there's absolutely nothing to do until one pops up. That's a good thing, though. I remember the day where I spent hours the night before hoping I was guessing the correct one for tomorrow morning. Those days are gone. You are welcome, Steph. I'm glad to have you with us. I have a scan, I think it's called a gap down at open. I know we have gap up at open, but we also have gap down at open. So the gap down would be at market open, the stock gap down instead of up, and it may continue down. And the gap up is the reverse of that, the gap up at open and continue to run. I don't know what number they are. There's so much stuff on Discord, I have to go look myself. You're just going to have to go search it out. You are welcome. About 5 more minutes to go before 7 o'clock. The top of the hour is usually when the next stock takes off. And that's providing we have news come out. News usually comes out at the top of the hour, but we have seen it come out at the half hour as well. Hopefully we'll get a good mover with good volume at 7 o'clock. We just have to be patient and wait. Glad YouTube does have a delay. I cannot correct that. That's not on me. I'm pushing out as much power as I can. That's why I say don't trade off of my system to get set up on yours. This is for demo, not for trading. So if you want to trade with this setup, you have to put it on your own computer. So as it goes through the YouTube server, some of you may experience bigger delays than others. That's something I cannot control. HARP, very low volume, made a slight move, but we were aware of it. Robert, here's one we just played earlier, but we didn't get the bounce back up. Here's your resistance and support levels. I play them all the time, every stock. To me, that's the only proper way to play it. It does not, V. You're not going to find anything that does gap downs or gap ups at pre-market. You can't scan a bunch of stocks that aren't moving. Won't do you any good. Because in pre-market, most stocks don't have any volume unless news comes out or unless buyers get on board. And those buyers, without the news, they would have to be assuming it's going up. But other than that, they're usually flat on volume until they start moving. So there's no way to play pre-market unless you have a scanner like this one that's going to let you know the moment a stock starts getting volume. I know many traders hated pre-market. I've always loved it. I've always played it different than everybody since I'm a volume and price action guy. And I think a lot of you in this stream starting to love pre-market as well. This is the proper way to play it, is to wait for them to start moving and have an indicator that tells you so. Just like this one right here, Riot starting to move. I knew instantly it was moving. Yeah, probably no chance to play this stock if it went from here on a gap up and halted. It's going to be a dangerous one. Yeah, if it's a buyout, it's probably not going to move much more after that. Actually, it's not halted. It just gapped up because of the buyout. Acon popping up. I just got a refresh on my scan. Let's see if we can mark out resistance and support for the pullback. Probably going to continue to rise here for a bit. I'm watching the volume right here picking up. Always monitor this current bar volume. We want good volume flow. Let's see if we get a pullback on this stock. Don't know how high it's going to jump up here. If you click the green button now, you could lose money. If you buy on the green candle. It's always safer to wait on a pullback. I don't like these long tails on the top. This is telling me the sellers are trying to take control. Could just be profit takers as well. This is pre-market. It's not like everybody's battling this stock. That's why I love pre-market. Less participants, easier rises in the price. Waiting to see if this candle pulls back before I mark it. It's an undecided candle right there when you got a line on the top and the bottom. Bouncing up for a little more. Got to have some profit takers here soon, I'm sure. Pretty equal battle going on here between the buyers and the sellers. Looks like the buyers may win this battle and drive it up a little bit more. They're trying their hardest. The sellers come right back in behind them. We need a nice, strong pullback somewhere down in this area here. Hopefully we'll get it. I'll go ahead and mark resistance here since we did not break through it for the last two candles. Let's see if we get a pullback. It's trying to come down. Let's see if they can get it down to this level. And there's not a certain level I'm looking for. I may have to mark it up here before the next run up. I'd really like to see it right down here where you see the line on the chart. May be too quick of a bounce back up for even to make a good judgment call on the pullback when the candles are this short. It may go back up here to retest $6. This one's a gamble right here. Can't tell which way it's going to go, up or down. Looks like it's going to break through to the upside. But I want it to come back down now and retest $6. You could have played that breakout there. It would have been a high risk play, but you could have played it. That's if you participate in these live streams every morning and you've seen that before and you know what to do with it. Other than that, it's a lucky guess. Good job, Dana. Good job, Who Loves Lunatic. So we didn't get a good clean pullback on it. You could have taken your chances down in this area here. I can find my mouse. There it is. Right in this area, you could have taken your chances. I didn't take any chances on it. I don't like playing them that way. I'd like to see it come back down now and retest this $6 level. If it can't break through, it may just run back up some more. So this would be the new resistance level. This now becomes support. The buyers are holding it up. That's a good sign. Do have a wick on the top of this candle, so there is sellers present. You can see that wick right up here. Now, do we come down and retest 6 for the bounce up? That's the question. Or do we only get these short red candles before the next run up? It's wanting to come down to retest 6, I believe. Got a tail on the bottom of this candle. The buyers are trying to keep it up. Really hard to call this stock on the direction. Not playing the game nicely. But I'm not going to get tricked into it. I need a strong pullback so I can get a strong run up. I want to see it pull back to $6. That's what I want to see. If it can hold $6, it may run back up to $6.66. Right now, we're bouncing between support and resistance. That's never a good sign. That means there's a battle between the buyers and the sellers. Nothing else in the watch list, so we might as well watch it. Looks like we're losing interest in this stock. The volume has dropped off. It is coming down towards that $6 mark. Let's take a closer look at it here so we can watch and see if it does bounce back up to 666. I don't like the 666 number to start with. That may be a warning. We are at that $6 level. Looks like the sellers won the battle on that one. Yeah, they can have control if they want it. I'm going to play it safely. I'm going to play only the good pullbacks. I'm not going to chase these things. They're not acting the way I like to see them act. We usually have a good run up, a strong pullback, and a bounce up. Right now, we're just kind of fading off into a pullback. I don't like stocks that move that way. They're not confidence builders, that's for sure. So my support and resistance in pre-market, I'm not looking backwards for previous levels. Most of the time they don't have a previous level. So I'll mark out my resistance and my support according to candle movement and buyers and sellers. That works out for me. It's been working out for many years for me doing that. Now it's working out for a lot of you as well. Got to really learn it, pay attention, attend these live streams and watch me do it over and over and over, and you'll see how successful this pullback is. The Halo Dog, do you have it set up for pre-market? Do you have extended hours checked? Not extended, yeah, extended hours in the TIF. That's the time in force. Halo, if you haven't set up for pre-market, I have a video on it over in Discord and how-to videos. Momo scanner I'm using is the one over in current setup. That way you don't get confused. If you load current setup, you're going to have this setup here. You may have the line indicator. I need to change that over to the dominator, but I've been reluctant to do that because some of you are still using the lines. And some of you still prefer the lines. I prefer the bars. I think it's about a 50-50 battle on which one you use. So I haven't changed it in current setup. Tony, I just posted the link to Discord if you haven't joined us. You can do so at that link. You are welcome. You'll find about 3,500 investors over on Discord during the day, all playing some form of these indicators, not exactly like my setup is. Everybody found their own sweet spot, and that's what I wanted to see. You don't have to follow me step for step. Find out what works for you, set it up, and play the market. MARA, old dependable. Mara's put a lot of money in everybody's pockets. You got to watch it continuously, though. I'll take a look at SPEC. Usually it's dead, and it is. We played it earlier. We watched it earlier this morning right here. And then it just kind of faded away. Yeah, I think when you're trading, you're going to find out if you're doing a wireless internet connection, you're going to have some delays. If you directly wire it to your laptop, you're going to avoid a lot of those delays. Let's take a bigger look here at Mara and see where we are. Let's zoom out a little bit. So we are down from previous highs. We are on a swing up. This is a 15-minute chart if you didn't see me changing it. See you later, Paul. Have a blessed one. We're in a dead spot. Nothing happening at the moment. The LNK, just out of the blue, gets a big green candle. Volume is starting to pick up now. So this went from nothing to something. It needs to get a little bit stronger, and it is. Volume is slowly increasing on this stock. It is higher than the last bar. I'm watching it right here on current bar volume. Yeah, you don't know where this one's going, that's for sure. When they fade in and fade out like that. Pull over, Bears. It's in current setup. This whole thing I'm using is in current setup. Except for the Dominator is going to be different in current setup. It's going to be the line indicator instead. I'll take a look at it later. They should be the same other than maybe the settings within. So this is the only change I would have made, is that this setting would be maybe 5,000 on one and 2,000 on this one. They're the same script. So if you're not at 2,000, then that's why you have different results. You can get there just by right-clicking on the name, edit formula, and if you still say 5,000 here, I've moved mine to 2,000. And you have to check extended hours manually. It doesn't keep that setting when I upload them. Acon found its resistance level at $6. Good job, Preben. Not much happening at the moment. We are streaming. I am silent. Just waiting on the V spike to take off while we watch Acon to see if it's going to break through 6. Trying to make a push here through 6 on Acon. I can see the volume building. It's getting a little stronger now. And other than a couple of stocks moving this morning, all we have now is a bunch of bouncers bouncing up and down in their zones, not really making any progress. Not seeing any volume spikes currently. Well, man, if you go watch video number 8 in how-to videos, you'll discover that it's not in studies. Must watch the how-to videos and you won't have any questions. Watch video number 8 in how-to videos. Jing, it's not like we like them. It's that this is what pops up in pre-market, and we play this pullbacks on them. We're not just penny stock players here. We just play what pops up in the scan. We're looking for all price ranges. Sometimes we get Tesla, Microsoft, AMD. They'll pop up sometimes in pre-market when they have news, and if it's good news or earnings. But currently, lately, the only thing that's been popping up is cheaper stocks. But we're profitable on them, so we'll take any stock that moves and plays our perfect strategy setup. So while we have nothing to do, if you haven't hit the like button, please do so, especially if you're just popping in. Let's keep the ratings up on YouTube so I can keep these free live streams going. YouTube pays me a few pennies, a little bit on each one. Not very much at all, but every little bit helps. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. We have 412 viewers and 275 likes, so just over 50% on likes. If you like what you see, show me some love, hit the like button for me. Acorn found a strong resistance level here. It has not broken through $6 in the last 15 minutes or so. This is actually a good sign. It's not dropping down. It could break out later. So we'll keep an eye on it for a little while and see which way it goes. I can almost tell you when it's going to break out, and at 8 o'clock I'll take a break, and that's when it'll make a move. I'll come back and all of you have made a couple of $100, and I'll come back and make nothing. So at 8 o'clock, be ready. And I'm sure every one of you have seen that happen. It happens regularly every time I take a break. Good morning, Larry Jones, and everybody that just popped in. Yeah, I'll have fresh coffee that I had to pay for. I have to take that break at 8 o'clock. I'm on a time schedule for medicine. That's what I do each morning at that time. Thank you very much, Joel, and you're welcome. VINC. This looks like you're hoping it'll go up from here. Doesn't have any volume. Did we get the breakthrough on ACON? ACON? Is it finally going back up to 665? Yes, I changed the number. Finally broke through. There's that 665. All right, so I missed it by 3 minutes. It usually wouldn't do this until 8 o'clock. But I knew it was going to happen. You are welcome, Miller Time Man. So we changed resistance levels on ACON. They could pump it up before market open. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. So if you get into the run up before market open, make sure you're aware it could sell off before the bell. So if you get into any profit here, I would take it. Acon could pull back down and retest $6 again. It was resistance prior to this green candle. Now it's become support at the $6 level. And the resistance moves back up to 665. See you later, Domingo. Have a blessed day. All right, I'm going to take my break here. I'll be back in 10 minutes. All right, I'm back. This clock here is called Widget Launcher. It's a Microsoft product. You can get it. Of course, I made it different colors. You can change the colors on it to blend in. Widget Launcher. Well, it's about 10 minutes after 8. I'm not seeing anything being pumped up prior to market open. So it's going to be a guessing game of which one's going to move. Mara's pulled pretty far back. Spec is not doing much of anything. Acon seems to be the only one that's holding its gains. LQR, I'll take a look at it. It's unhalted. Looks promising. Low volume. Going to be hard to get in and get out on this stock when the volume is that low and that slow. Unless you plan on just sitting on it, that's going to be dangerous. $14,000 shares on the last candle. Not impressive at all. About 15 minutes to go. Let's see if Acon can hold up here. See if it can keep the price level going, or does it start selling off before market open? We'll find out shortly, I'm sure. Nothing else popping up on the scanners. It's been quiet for about an hour now. So we're going to be going through some rough weather here before the stream ends. And my neighborhood is known for power outages. They haven't been as bad lately. Hopefully we can get through the session without a power outage. So if I disappear, that's what happened. I'm down in southeast Texas. We're going to be one of the first to hit that blast of cold air down here in the deep south. Don't know how true it is, but they're saying 28 degrees Tuesday morning. We'll find out. It never gets that cold here. If it does, it only lasts a couple of hours. Believe it or not, I'm not much of a football fan. I'll watch them when they get to the end of the season. That's about it. I'm not one to sit at home and waste my time for 3 hours in the chair, or 6 hours if you watch 2 games. That's never been me. I always have something more productive to do with my life. We do have some fantastic food in this area, right on the water where all the shrimp boats and stuff come in. But they also want a nice price for it as well. You would think since we are the port for it, it would be a little cheaper, but it's not. About 8 more minutes. I'll be changing the scans here at about 3 more minutes or so. Be putting the 50-minute scan up here. So instead of this scan looking back 30 minutes, the one I'm going to put up will be looking back 50 minutes and work on the same principle as this one. Down here, I'll be putting the high flyer scan. I'm going to leave magic scan over here. Or actually, I'll probably put the pullback scan over here. Let's try that one. Hollywood, I love red snapper. Problem is, it's so overpriced. It's hard I don't like to keep spending money on it when it's extremely high. And then you only get one fish for about $40 that weighs about 2 pounds. 3 pounds if you're lucky. MDV, I'm running V4 this morning. It's over in current setup, step number 1. You can stick to the swing combo. I'm just running V4. I prefer it over in pre-market, but you can use the combo if you like it. No big difference. Same play, same pullbacks, just different charting. I'm going to go ahead and change my scans over. This one's going to be the 50-minute. I always have trouble finding it. There it is, right there. Down here, let's put the pullback. And I'll leave the magic scan here, and I'll be monitoring the all stocks on my lower screens. If I see something, I will definitely switch over to it. I think I selected the wrong one here. Let's see. Yeah, it's the right one. So Acon, CYC, HRTX, SPR, VINC. These are all what Magic Scan is saying may move up this morning at open. We've got about 3 minutes to go. We'll be watching this volume spike column for anything that's moving. I'll be checking the top 3 up here at the very top to see if we can get a pullback on any of them. And that's providing we get any up here in the top. I'll be watching Acon when the market opens. If it starts pulling back, we'll possibly play a pullback strategy on it, but we'll see how it responds at open. If not, I'll be searching around just like you will be. Monitor your favorite scans, try to get you a play in. Don't chase green candles, play the pullbacks and try to save your money. Yeah, I'm thinking about changing the Precision Swing Pro because there's nothing on it. So I'll go ahead and move the high flyers here if I can get my mouse to cooperate. Here's high flyers. It's always got some good movement in it. So if you don't know what high flyers is, the moving averages are stacked. So the 5 is above the 13 is above the 21 is above the 34, etc. And that's what this scan is looking for, is the price being above the 5 and the moving averages are stacked. It's a very powerful scan of the strongest stocks throughout the day. It's a good one to monitor, especially when this top one starts spiking when nothing else is moving. CLRB looks about like the rest of them. ACON moving up back towards resistance. 32 seconds to go. Good luck. Be careful. Don't chase green candles. Play the pullbacks unless you are a professional green candle chaser. And I don't know if any of them exist. All right, good luck, everyone. Let's see where this goes. ACON doesn't know where it's going. The momentum indicator at the bottom, the dominator, has a big red bar. And the red line is above the green one. So we do have profit takers right now, or shorters trying to drive it down. The SPY is inching up slowly. ACON pulling back. I'm watching for anything to move here in high flyers, and it looks like it's all pulling back. I'm also watching these 3 top positions up here. Let's try ADTX, see what it's doing. It's not doing much of nothing. Let's continue to watch ACON. It's going to pull back down to $6, it looks like. Nothing impressive here in high flyers yet. Wolf is trying to make a move. Let's see if we get a pullback on Wolf. There's resistance. Let's see if we get the good pullback here for support. There's not much money here. It's only playing pennies, not worth our trouble. Don't worry about that one. Unless you want pennies, go for it. Not my kind of trade. Yeah, I'm seeing AA here as well, AAL. I'm watching Magic Scan. It's pulling out the winners, it looks like. There's Wolf. Boy, is it jumping around or what? QS is very volatile. Don't know if it wants to go up or down. Big red candles and big green ones. AAL pulling up. Let's see if we get a pullback off of it. It's not moving very much money, though. It's pennies at a time as well. Steadily crawling up. American Airlines, pretty strong buyers here. I do expect a pullback on it soon. Profit takers will come in and take some profit. I'm watching a bunch of small percentage bouncers over here on the list. No really big gainers in high flyers. US has been at the top of the list for quite some time. US is moving up, just like AAL. This one seems to be a little bit more responsive. Looks like the volume's dropping off on these buyers on QS. We went from way up here down to back down to the bottom, showing weakness here. Could get a pullback in this area if the volume doesn't die. Or we could get a continuation upwards. Not seeing very many sellers. Let's see if we get a pullback on QS. The strong pullbacks just aren't happening today for us. Okay, that candle closed. Let's see if it bounces back up from 885 to that's about a dime. It's really not worth it. But it could break through and pay 10 or 12 or 15 cents. That is providing it does bounce back up. Volume is slightly lower than normal. We did return back up to 8.94, and we did break through for about 10 cents. Will it hold and push through? Who knows? Volume did increase a bit. Little bitty bump there, that's good. At least you're into it for 12 cents or so if you did it. if you played the pullback. Nice bump on QS. Continuing to go. Beautiful pullback play. This is why I don't like chasing green candles. That's a pretty good run right there. It's about 20 cents. See lots of volume coming into this stock now. Maybe we'll retest 894 for another run up. Looks like we're going to go up for a little bit more. Long tail on the bottom of that candle. Nope, it failed. If you're into profit, I would probably get out at this point. It's not looking real strong. Or sell half, sit on half, however you want to work it. I'm going to call this one done. Hopefully some of you played the pullback on it, made a few dollars. Was a nice pullback here on spec while we were making money on the other one. We do have a resistance level up here at 324. That's a previous level set from a previous play we made. So far QS was the cleanest pullback play we've had today. Spec retesting 306. $13,000 share seller on spec at 315, and it went. They pulled back a little here. Going back down to 306 for the retest. Looks like the buyers are coming back in. It's definitely a battle between buyers and sellers on SPEC. Heavy selling on SPEC just then. Might be a bounce play right there. Up, more sellers coming in. They're wiping it out. Really wiping it out. Hope you guys weren't holding through that. You should have said plus 50 cents. It went minus. Man, I would almost call this a bull trap. Let you get them in and drop a load on them. Well, I guess we'll see in the end who wins this battle of the sellers and the buyers. Looking strong on the labels, though. It needs to fill the gap, but that's not a guarantee that it will. It could just continue on down. It depends on how strong the sellers are here. Looks like the shorts jumped in at the top there. I don't know if it's really worth it here for 10 cents. Could be, I guess, if you held a couple thousand shares of it. Looks like we're going to go back up. No guarantee, don't buy on my words. That's a warning. I'm not liking the way the chart looks right now. Coulda, shoulda, woulda don't mean it will. Keep that in mind. Did make it back to 306 to the resistance level. It did break through 306. Buyers are coming in strong on SPEC. Now we need a retest of 306 to see how strong it is. There's the retest of 306. It can hold this level, it should go back up. Long tail on the bottom of that candle. The buyers are trying to push it up from the retest to 306. Looks like we are going to break through up to that next resistance level at 324. Pretty close to it, not right at it, but close. You would have had to been quick to get that one in and out real fast. Too much of a battle, too volatile for me. This one is really radical up and down. Too many participants. That's what I don't like about the regular session. It's not as easy as pre-market of calling these out. You'll get these bounces up, but they'll bounce right back down before you can get out. This one's having a good battle between the buyers and the sellers. I think the buyers are probably going to give up on this stock soon, and the shorters will win. They're trying, but they keep having to get out, so we'll see where it goes. Good job, Tony. Was definitely a rough ride on spec. Looks like the market's calming down now, getting closer to that 9 o'clock hour. It's been doing this for a year now. It's like everything goes dead and you got to wait around for one to start moving. Spec back down to 292. I'll take a look at CLRB. Could be a pullback here, possible. Let's see what happens from 323 to 336. Volume is kind of low on the current bar. If anything was strong, it would be right here in Magic Scan. I'm not seeing anything real strong currently. ACON pulling way back. SPEC still fighting the battle. I don't trade SoFi. I've watched SoFi for years, and it just ain't worth hanging on that long in SoFi for just a few games. Their gains are really not impressive. I mean, they can be, but most of the time it's you got to wait an hour for a nickel. So I stay away from SoFi. SLDB could be a pullback here. Got to watch the spread on SLDB. It can get out of hand. SLDB on the top of the list for Magic Scan. We could see a bounce back up to 890 if the buyers will come back in. Right now, I'm seeing sellers on the Dominator. Retesting 787 on SLDB. Looks like the buyers are coming back in on SLDB. Two nice green bars on the Dominator. CYCC low volume stock. I'm liking SLDB. It's holding the price range right into this level. We could see a run up here soon. On the top of every one of our charts, every one of our scans. Let me correct that. Long as we can hold 787, we should be good for a move up later. Don't know when. Just got to keep an eye on it. Market's going into that dead zone. The SPY is not going any higher. It's kind of around the 469 level. Slight pullback on the SPY, nothing drastic. SLDB dropped below support. Maybe on its way down. Rick, it's not locked. It's just sitting there floating. I just moved it around. You can see I'm moving it now. I just move it around. Bill, are you using the magic scan? ARDX crawling up here. Also in the ARDX is also in the slow crawler scan. If you are monitoring that scan, I think our issue is we have too many good scans. You go from one scan to the other, and you end up losing which one you really need to concentrate on. Bill, I've been playing with my numbers on Magic Scan. I made that aware of last week where I went inside the code and I'm flirting around with different numbers to see what best performs. I think I may have landed on it. If that's the case, I will re-upload it and put out an update on it. If you want to change it now, I can show you what I changed in Magic Scan. So if you go to your scan tab and bring up the scan itself, and inside the code, this is the code line. Inside the code, click this little pencil, and I changed this number to 100,000. So if you want to make that change now, you can. In the code, when you go to scan settings, click the pencil. This window will pop up. Change this number to 100,000. Make sure you have a 1 and a 1 here as well. 1 and 1 and 100,000. I always fine-tune things as I put them out, and if I find better numbers, I will always put them out there. But I haven't finished testing it, so I haven't made any changes yet. Well, Joseph, it's really not something you want to keep changing. So it really doesn't need to be an input. The scan is looking for one thing, and that's momentum stocks. There's a number that I've got to find, and that 100,000 may be it. I mean, you don't want to know all the trash stocks. You want to know the top ones that are moving. We played Nexi in the past. It already has support and resistance levels set. I'm thinking the volume is dying out in the market. It's going to be hard to get a good play. The SPY is slightly pulling back now. Nexi looking pretty strong here. Could go on up to 966. making an attempt at it. Need to break through right here to get that 966. Got to watch the spread on this stock too. It's jumping all over the place. See you later, Trump. God bless you, brother. Let me see what Nexie's going to do here, and then I'll put it back up there for you, Robert or Randy. All right, looks like it's going to go back down and retest 855. If this is my magic scan, hit the pencil over here on this side. Make sure you have a 1 and a 1 and 100,000. Robert, I don't give buy and sell direction on anything. I'm mainly here to teach you what my indicators do and how to use them. Good morning, Nano. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm a coder. I code indicators and scans and teach you how to use them. I could care less about dividend stocks or anything else. I mainly focus on volume spikes and price action. That's how I trade. Dividend stocks are good if you want to just sit on the dividends for a while. Me, I can make more money if I just play these bounces instead of letting the money sit somewhere else. It's kind of like a bank. You're guaranteed a little bit more than the bank on the dividend stocks, but I prefer to keep my money in cash for when I need it. Well, I guess ThinkorSwim decided to shut down. Let me get it back up. And I'm almost thinking that this is not my issues. I'm thinking it's internet issues or Schwab issues. All I know is I'm not liking it. What if I was in a trade and this happens? And again, we could have had a power surge. I don't really know. We are going through some bad weather. That's probably 3 times it shut down on me just out of the blue over the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's not very often, but I don't like that it's happening. What are my main scanners? Well, if I had 34 monitors, I'd be watching all of them. I don't know which one is the main one. They all work. I'm favoring Magic Scan and High Flyers, but I could keep going. Precision Swing Pro, Unusual Volume, Slow Crawlers. We have a lot of good ones. You're going to have to pick your favorite. We have a low float scanner as well. Since nothing is happening, James, I will explain that to you. I probably need to do a video on it. So if you hit the gear icon right here, and you go over to Let me find it. Time axis. And where it says keep time zoom, uncheck this box. Then set up all of your charts like you like them. And come back to this window and tell it to keep time zoom. That's how you correct that issue. Now, that said, if you're trying to do what I've done here, where I have multiple windows on one monitor, even if you go to Setup and Save Workspace As, it's not going to save them. It's going to save some of them. You're still going to end up having to drag them back into position. It only works somewhat, but you're still going to end up having to readjust these windows each time you go back if you're doing multiple monitors setup. Kevin, I have my phone right beside me in case something like that happens. I learned that a long time ago. Have a backup if I'm in a trade. So I've got about 2 minutes to go before this stream ends, and you won't have to deal with my bug issues over here. So if you haven't joined